What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel, as I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day here on YouTube with all the latest City transfer news. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free. Social media links are in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's transfer update. We're aiming for 300 likes, and also don't forget as well to get your thoughts in the comments below. So we've got no contract news to speak about today. We're going to dive straight on in with the outs, and we've got the very latest on Stefan Ortega. Now, Florian Plettenberg says a potential move for him to Burnley has fallen through for now, as they look at other targets to potentially replace James Trafford this summer. Florian Plettenberg does go on to say that Stefan Ortega has got 3 other Premier League teams who have declared their interest in signing him, and also Fenerbahce in Turkey are interested in signing him as well. We were reporting yesterday when Ben Jacobs was saying both Burnley and Leicester City of course in the Championship, also interested in Stefan Ortega. So there is plenty of interest in the Manchester City goalkeeper. The question is, where is he going to end up? Now, in my opinion, we're looking here at a high quality goalkeeper who I've said for a long time, and I'm going to maintain this stance, that he's a really good goalkeeper. He's too good to be sat on Manchester City's bench. He's more than capable of being a high-quality goalkeeper, a regular starting goalkeeper for a lot of Premier League teams. So if there are any Premier League teams out there looking for a new first-choice goalkeeper, in particular I'm looking towards the newly promoted teams from the Championship up to the Premier League, who are looking to take a gulf in class and a gulf in difference in their goalkeeper and looking for an upgrade, then I'd have thought that Stefan Ortega would be a really good shout. Now, I can't see him making a move to the Championship for 2 reasons. Number one, he's on a lot of wage, and I can't see Championship teams being interested in paying that wage unless they're really confident that they are going to get promoted to the Premier League. But I also don't think that Stefan Ortega would be that interested in a move into the second division here in England, mainly because we're looking here at a World Cup year, and Stefan Ortega's best chance that he has got of going to the World Cup with Germany is going to be playing at the top level in a top league, and playing on a regular basis. So I wouldn't potentially rule out Stefan Ortega having a good look at other European teams, because I'm sure there'll be teams who are competing in Europe. So I'm looking towards, teams who are playing in the Champions League, the Europa League, the Europa Conference League from abroad, who would be interested in signing Stefan Ortega. But it all comes down to, what's the player looking for? What's his financial package going to look like when leaving Manchester City? Both the fee being paid to Manchester City and also what the package is going to look like in terms of how much Ortega is going to get paid, and then he can sort out a transfer. This is where Stefan Ortega, we're paying money to his agent, and his job now is to find him a new club. Manchester City are not going to have 4 goalkeepers when everybody has 3 goalkeepers, and with us bringing James Trafford in now, it does mean that Stefan Ortega is going to be the goalkeeper that more than likely will leave Manchester City, in particular from the news that we've had over the last 24 hours, where it's looking like Ederson is going to stay. We've already seen us sort out our third choice keeper with Scott Carson leaving and Bettinelli coming in, so it's just very much looking like a very simple straight swap here between both Stefan Ortega and James Trafford when it comes to that transfer. So where's he going to end up? It could well be to Turkey, it could be to Fenerbahce. That's a fantastic move. It could be to somebody else. Obviously with the goalkeeper being German, I imagine there'd be German clubs that would be interested, and I imagine there would be Bundesliga clubs that would be interested in signing Stefan Ortega. I imagine there'd be other clubs as well. I know he's been linked with moves both to the Netherlands and to Belgium as well. Club Bruges were just being linked 12 months ago. So there is going to be offers there for Stefan Ortega. There is nothing close, and at the moment I think City are just going to try and drum up the interest to see what the offers are looking like, how much teams are prepared to pay, and then it'd be a case, I don't think it'll be that much money, that Stefan Ortega would have his choice about which club he wants to go and join. And it's a very similar situation in terms of the sales here for Manchester City, in a same situation that we're looking at when it comes to the potential sale of the likes of James McAtee and Jack Grealish, where there's going to be interest there. It's all about evaluating what's the best offer for Man City. Once we've decided what the best offers are, then we can put that forward to the player, and the player can make his choice about where they want to go. And it's very much a situation that City will need to get sorted. I imagine that City would want to get this sorted before the start of the season, in particular that other big leagues seasons are going to be started in the next 2 to 3 weeks as well. So they're going to want to know what their squad's looking like. In particular, I could argue that goalkeeper is probably the most important position, because if you've not got a good goalkeeper, then you're going to be conceding goals right from the off. So teams want to sort out who's going to be starting in goal. So goalkeeper is very much going to be of demand. And what normally does happen is you start to see a few goalkeepers making transfers, in particular City bringing in James Trafford, can just start a little conveyor belt where we start to see goalkeepers exchanging and going to different clubs. And so I imagine there'll be spaces opening up in net very soon for other teams, and I'd be very surprised in the next 2 to 3 weeks if Stefan Ortega is still at Manchester City. With him having just 11 months left on his contract, it's well within City's best interest here to go down the permanent route rather than the loan route. If it is a loan route, then it would just be a simple case where Stefan Ortega goes on loan. We don't see him again in a City shirt and he leaves for free next summer. So it's a situation that City need to get sorted, and get sorted very quickly. There's interest there, so we'll see who does end up stumping up the cash when it comes to Stefan Ortega Moreno. Now moving on to the other goalkeeper at City, we've got an update on Ederson, and Galatasaray manager Okan Buruk has spoken about Ederson, and he said that he's an important player who is an important option for them, but are Manchester City going to let him go? Well, that's the important matter here to get sorted. Ederson's got 11 months left on his Manchester City contract. There's no talks in place right now between Ederson and Manchester City to extend his contract. My expectation right now is that Ederson's going to stick to his word that he said during the Club World Cup, which is he wants to stay at Manchester City, and I imagine over the next 11 months he's going to want to sort out his future and find a new club. He's going to be free to speak to clubs to leave Manchester City on a free contract from January 31st of 2026, which does sound quite far away, but when you think about things, it's not that far away. We're looking here at, 6 months' time, half a year, and then he's allowed to talk to teams to sign a potential pre-contract agreement to leave Manchester City. So we'll see what does happen. I've maintained throughout this summer, we know of that interest from Galatasaray, from Turkey, but I've maintained during this summer, and I'm going to continue to say this, there was strong interest in Ederson from Saudi Arabia, and I'd be very surprised if Saudi Arabia doesn't come calling for Ederson at some point in this window. So I wouldn't rule out the potential of both goalkeepers leaving Manchester City. It's not something I recommend, and it's not something I want to happen. I'm not ruling it out right now that could happen, and it'd be really interesting if that does happen, about what Manchester City are going to do about it. And I'm just wondering here if Man City, when it comes to Stefan Ortega drumming up the interest, are just wanting to find or make a final decision about what is going to happen, because we could do with really sitting both players, both Stefan Ortega and Ederson, down when they return back to pre-season training on Monday, and sitting them both down as a matter of interest and a matter of a priority here for City to say, right, Stefan, right, Ederson, what's happening? What's going to be happening? What are you going to be doing in terms of your future? Because we're in a situation where we're bringing James Trafford in, and we need to know what's going on. I imagine Man City probably already have their answer. That's why they've gone out and brought James Trafford in. But we do need clarity about who's going to be staying, who's going to be going, and we need to get that ASAP as far as I'm concerned, so we know what we're looking at when it comes to who our number one goalkeeper is going to be. Is it going to be Ortega that leaves? Is it going to be Ederson that leaves? If Ederson decides to leave, should we not be keeping Ortega? If Ortega is going to leave, then it's a matter of a priority that Ederson's quite simply isn't for sale, and he'll leave for free next summer. Then it becomes a matter of, is his head in it? Is he still interested? Because I put to you guys, a lot of you guys work, and when you're working at a place and you're going to be leaving your employment to go to another place, naturally your performance does genuinely start to dip, because your head is no longer as invested or involved in your place of employment. And if that is the case, and we start to see a dip in Ederson's performance, then that's when James Trafford will be given his opportunity and can step up to become City's number one goalkeeper, even if Ederson remains in the next 12 months. And James Trafford knows that. He's backing himself. He believes in himself. So I'm finding this goalkeeping situation at City very, very interesting. Anyway, moving on to the ins, we've got a very quick update on Jules Kounde, and Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that he's not going to be joining Manchester City this summer. I think we all knew that was going to be the case. We could all read between the lines, and we could all see that Kounde's got no interest in leaving Barcelona. He just wanted to go to the negotiation table with Barcelona to say, look, Man City are interested, so it's up to you to make sure you give in to my demands for me to sign a new contract, or I'm going to explore signing for another club with me having just 2 years left on my contract. So Barcelona have gone, not a problem, we'll negotiate with that, we'll give you a bigger wage or a longer contract, and there we go. That's now verbally been agreed between Barcelona, and Kounde is going to be signing a new contract until 2030. It does mean that City's name once more being used to get a new contract sorted for Kounde and get that sorted quickly as well, but it does mean we can scratch Kounde off our wish list when it comes to Manchester City signing a defender in particular on that right hand side. Do we want to look at a out and out right back? Do we want to look at a right back who can play as a right centre back? Do we want to look at a centre back who can play as a right back? Who knows what City are going to do, but I would say that it's well within City's best interest to keep looking at a right back and finding that Kyle Walker replacement in our squad, because once we've got the goalkeeping situation sorted, for me that full back area, that right back area has to be the next priority that City gets sorted, along with getting the players that we want to keep on new contract, in particular looking towards Rodri, and also sorting out the outgoings as well. So still loads for City to sort out this summer, and plenty for me to get my teeth into when it comes to my daily Manchester City transfer update. So that has been today's update. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 300 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day here on YouTube with all the latest City transfer news. You don't want to miss a thing, so do subscribe. And also don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. And religiously, I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.